Hey everyone, we are live here from Voto Latino headquarters. I'm Gretchen and this is my colleague Genesis.
Hi.
So we're here to have a conversation about Afro-Latinidad and just some of the questions a lot of individuals might have about our heritage and identity.
And it's also Black History Month, so it's a perfect time to have conversations about being Black and Latino and celebrating our heritage. So I'm excited.
Yeah, so just like starting it up, I'm curious, like, Genesis, are you Latina? Are you Black? How do you identify? What's going on?
Well, I certainly identify as both. I don't see them as mutually exclusive. I am equally Latina as I am Black. I view being Latino as having cultural similarities between a diverse group of people in a certain region. This is not a textbook definition, but this is what I feel that Latinidad means to me. And being Afro-Latina just encompasses my experiences as a Black woman who is also Latin and speaks Spanish and lives in this country. So
No, I think that's spot on, and I think people need to acknowledge that. I mean, you can be from Mexico and be Black, you can be from Colombia and be Black. One does not cancel another, so that's where Afro-Latinidad comes in, and that's what it's all about.
absolutely. And so I'm really curious. What have your experiences been like being Afro-Latina in the United States?
Sure. I mean, I didn't grow up in the United States, so when I came to live here, I thought it was very important for me to have this identity. So having the term Afro-Latina was a perfect way of me being able to tell people, like, I am Mexican, but I am also African-American. Finding other Blaxicans that I could speak to about their experiences was pretty amazing. So being able to just identify myself as an Afro-Latina was a way of bringing within, like, these two very important parts of my identity.
That's awesome. I would say that I have similar experiences, only that all my family is Black, and so I felt like being Afro-Latina, again, just really tells the whole picture of where my heritage is from and how I am proud of that heritage and how I identify as Latina. Growing up in the United States was a little bit difficult because I grew up around a lot of non-Black Latinos and African Americans. And so both communities would have various curious looks when they would look at me or wouldn't understand why this Black girl is talking Spanish fluently. So I felt like I had to really carve my own space and claim it. And so through high school, I kind of had an identity crisis a little bit, or just curiosity. And so I learned about this term, and I'm like, this really explains who I am. And yeah, like it's been awesome claiming it. There's a lot of curiosity and leads to more conversations, which makes me talk about the diaspora.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, I think identity crisis is like spot on, and having the term Afro-Latina is just wonderful.
Yeah.
So now that we talk about like being an Afro-Latina in the U.S., I'm just curious, like, what about being Afro-Latina back in the motherland? What's that all about?
Well, I'm from the Dominican Republic, and the majority of us in the island have African heritage. We're Black. And Latinidad, Afro-Latinidad, it's not really a term that we use to label ourselves because we're all Dominicans, variations of Black in terms of hair texture and skin color. So Dominican would be just the label that we use, and we would identify with region, and other things, skin color. But yeah, for Latina, that's not really a term that we've used.
I agree, and I feel the same. I mean, I grew up in Mexico, and in Mexico, your identity is more of what part of Mexico are you from. Race is present, but it's a complicated issue. Racial identity, I mean, in Mexico is so complicated that it wasn't until 2016 last year where they officially introduced Black as an option for people in the census to identify with. And I think that it's been a while since people from indigenous and Black backgrounds have felt that they are just lumped into the term mestizo. So Afro-Latinidad was definitely not that present. I was Mexican, and I happened to have my father who was African American. So when I came to this was when I had to kind of put that label upon myself, where it was like, well, I am Mexican and African American, so let me use Afro-Latina as a way of identifying myself.
And I would also add, well, from my own experiences, I didn't realize that I was Black until I came to this country.
Yeah.
And when I say that, I'm not saying that I denied my Black heritage. I didn't recognize that I was negra. So that's what we call each other, negra, morena, and so on. It was more of an awareness of kind of like my place in American society. Like, whoa, I am Black. And so that shapes my experiences living in this country.
Yeah. Totally.
Because it's very much here, very black and white. But then here comes a group of people where it kind of shakes it up a little bit and kind of questions that black and white narrative. And so now this is my interesting, what I find the most interesting when it comes to Afro-Latinidad, colorism and anti-blackness. What have your experiences been like regarding that?
I mean, girl, anti-blackness and colorism within the Latino community is so real.
Yeah,
and
growing
up, and just still right now, it's so difficult to see that what is considered beautiful in media, in entertainment.
Was someone with long straight hair. And so I think it's important for Latinos to understand how troublesome these conversations, or I guess these beliefs, can be, because again, it affected how we grew up.
Exactly.
And it perpetuates, again, these prejudices that we don't want to see.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, definitely acknowledge that it's a problem, and have conversations with family and friends to be like, hey, what you said, it's not cool. Let's talk about it. Because, again, we don't want to perpetuate the same thing for future generations. We want to be proud of who we are.
So now to what brought us here, Black History Month.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, how are you celebrating this month, and what does this month mean to you?
I love Black History Month because it's just a really great time to celebrate our heritage.
Yeah.
And I love to celebrate my Black girl magic. So this month gives me that opportunity to really celebrate the accomplishments of Black people in this country. And more recently, you're seeing a wider celebration of the diaspora, which gets me even more excited because I'm a product of the diaspora. So it gives me an opportunity to celebrate Afro-Latinos from different countries who have contributed so much to not only Latin culture, but American culture as well.
For sure. Yeah, that was spot on, and like, I agree. I think for me, it's wonderful that we do have this month where we are able to recognize all these contributions that have been made by the Latino community to society. I think it's also important just to acknowledge that, I mean, it's great to have this month, but like for us, this is our legacy, this is our life, and it's perfect to just be able to like also keep this going, and let's just uplift each other like all year long, every day, and something. Wishing everyone well and a great day. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Bye.
Bye.